All right. Now we're doing freeCodeCamp, JavaScript algorithms and data structures beta. Learn basic JavaScript by building a role-playing game. Step 32. All right. So button 1 is a variable that's not going to be reassigned. If we are not going to assign a new variable to a new value to a variable, it's best practice to use the const keyword to declare it instead of the let keyword. This will tell JavaScript to throw an error if we accidentally reassign it. So now we're going to change our button 1 variable to be declared with the const keyword. All right. Well, there's actually a little bit more to const than just 2 sentences, believe it or not, or 3 sentences or 4, whatever you want to say. So what we're going to do here is we're going to come over here and we're going to say const keyword JavaScript like that, right? So if we come down to the W3 schools, I like W3 schools because it's a little bit more user friendly, new person friendly, newbie friendly, let's say. And we come down and check out JavaScript const, we got some stuff about it, pretty much a page worth, and we're going to go over this right now. So the const keyword was introduced in ES6 in 2015, so about 9 years ago. Basically, kids born in this year are now in 4th grade, or add however many years plus that to 2023, or you know what I'm trying to say. Anyway, so it's not new. So variables defined with const cannot be redeclared. Variables defined with const cannot be reassigned, and they have block scope. All right. So they cannot be reassigned. So what that means is a constant variable cannot be reassigned, okay? So for example, we've got pi equals pi, and then pi equals 3.14. When we try to change pi into this, it's going to throw an error. And when we try to change pi into pi plus 10, it's also going to give us an error, all right? We don't need to try it ourselves. We can trust that that's what's going to happen. It must be assigned. So JavaScript const variables must be assigned a value when they are declared. So const pi equals pi right here is correct, but saying const pi right here and then coming afterwards and trying to declare it, trying to add a variable to it isn't going to work for us. So we have to do it right when it's being made, right? So here's when to use JavaScript const. We're going to always declare a variable with const when we know that the value should not be changed. We're going to use const when we declare a new array, a new object, a new function, or a new regex, all right? And we don't know what regex is on this course yet, but we'll get to that. So const objects and arrays. The keyword const is a little misleading, but pardon me. It does not define a constant value, but it does define a constant reference to a value. Because of this, we cannot reassign a constant value, reassign a constant array, or reassign a constant object. But we can change the elements of a constant we can change the elements of constant arrays or the properties of constant objects. And we're going to go into constant objects later, but we'll check that out in a little bit. All right. So constant arrays. We can change the elements of a constant array like this. And let's just check out the actual example. So right here, we've got the array cars, and it's got some 3 cars right here, Saab, a Volvo, and a BMW. So we can change something to an element. So we can say cars at 0, and that's what this would be. This would be cars at 0 right here at Saab. We can change it to Toyota. And like right here, we can see it changed to Toyota. And then we can also add an element, and this is the push method. We'll go into this later, but cars.push Audi is going to push Audi at the end of the array. So we've got Toyota, which we changed here. We changed this to Toyota, and we also added Audi to the end of this. And when we display the array, we've got document.getElement by ID demo.h.innerHTML equals cars, and we haven't gone over this, and I have never even seen this yet, so we'll see that later. What it's going to do is throw this on there, right? So that's basically how that works. So let's come back over here, but we cannot reassign the array. So we can see right here, we've got cars equals Saab, Volvo, BMW. And so instead of doing the thing where we changed it like this, we're actually just changing the array right here by saying cars now equals this. It's just going to throw an error, all right? So here's some constant objects. We can also change the property of constant objects right here. So here's an object. And like I said, we'll go over this later, but this is the key and this is the value. And this whole thing together is called a property. All right. So we've got, and the property is also named by the key. All right. So we've got const car, we've got the property type, the property model, and the property color, and it's got fiat 500 and white respectively as the values. And so we can change the property by saying car.color red. So when we say car.color, it was white, but now we're changing it to red. And then we're going to add the property. So we're saying car.owner. There is no owner here, but when we say car.owner, it adds owner to the end. I don't know if I said donor, but whatever, it doesn't matter. It's going to add owner to the end and Johnson owns it, right? And we could try it ourselves, but trust me on that. Actually, let's just do it. Anyway, that's not as easy to look at as I thought. So let's come back over here, and we cannot reassign the object. So just like with the arrays up here, where we can't just say it equals this whole array done like this. We can't do that. We can't just say now it equals this array looking like, it's part of this object looking like that, right? And then here's the differences between var, let, and const. And this is just a bunch of stuff that I've never even seen before. So hopefully we'll go over that at some point. But anyway, that's pretty much it. There's also this block scope thing, which means declaring a variable with const is similar to let when it comes to block scope. The X declared in the block in this example is not the same as the X declared outside the block, all right? So because this, I don't know what that means. Anyway, so let's come back over here. We'll figure that out later. So we've got step 32 over here, and we already did all that stuff. And all we're going to do with this one is just say const right here, const like that. And there's that. I mean, I really have no idea what that means. Const X is 10. So here X is 2. Here X is 10. Const this object, const equals 2 inside of here, but since it's declared outside here 10, it's 10. Okay, so I guess right here it makes a new object, and inside of this object X equals 2, so I guess that's what that's saying. And then this declaring hoisting, no, we'll do that much later. So let's check the code. Looks good. And submit it. All right. Now we're on to step 33, and we'll see you next time.